בשחרית, במוסף ובנעילה. So during Shachrit, Musaf, and Neila, Kohanim nosim et kapehem. So the Kohanim, they have to go and do the priestly blessing. אבל במנחה אין ניסין כפיהם, but במנחה they don't do the priestly blessing, מפני שבמנחה כבר סעדו כל העם ושמע שעטו הכהנים יין ושיכור עשו בנשיאת כפיים. So the only reason why at mincha they don't do נשיאת כפיים, they don't go and give the blessing, because this is already after lunch, and maybe they drank wine, and there will be one of the kohanim going to be shikor, and he cannot be shikor, he cannot be drunk when he goes up to the dukhan. ואפילו ביום תענית אין נושאים כפיהם במנחה, גזרה במנחה תענית מפני מנחת כל יום. Even on a day of a fast, they don't go and do. They don't go up to do the priestly blessing. Why? Because gzera of the other days where there's no fast. And if we allow you to do the day of a fast, the next day, you just go up. Did you drink wine? No. Okay, so go up. So they not make a difference. Al-Khabet. So when do we say that? We say in a case of Ta'anit that we do Mincha Neila, for example, Kippur and Ta'anit Tzibur. This is in those cases. But if it's a fast where it doesn't have the prayer of Neila, you go on Tisha B'Av, V'Shiva Asa B'Tamuz, like Tisha B'Av and Tisha Asa B'Tamuz, Oilu Tfilat Mincha Shelahem Samuch L'Shkiat HaChama. Since Mincha is close to Shkiat HaChama, Ari Nired Ki Neila. This looks like Neila, Ve'ena Mitchalifet B'Mincha Shel Kol Yom. And it will not be will not be confused with another service of mincha, and that's why Yom Kippur the Kohanim they go up, right? That they go up to Birkat Kohanim, and we have to make sure that Birkat Kohanim is done before Shkiat HaChama, and that's what we have to be careful. And this is why there's Nisat Kapayim, they can go up. If now you went to do Duchan on the Mincha of Yom Kippur, so on Mincha he does not go up, but he goes for Neila, right? But if he did, Neila is the last hour, but if he did go up during Mincha, we're not going to tell him to go down. He still can bless everybody, because everyone knows that on Yom Kippur no one eats or drink, and therefore they will not. If he's already up, they will not remove him, right? And they will not say, "Oh, he was passed," and why? Because it's worse for the other case. Because here you have two problems. Either the problem is that people are going to think the next day you're allowed to do on Mincha, or you're going to think that they're going to think bad of him. They're going to say, "Oh, this guy is not a real Kohen. That's why they removed him." Understand? So it's better for him to go up and do it than to be removed. And that's why in general we never ask for let's say there's going to be let's say a Kohen, we're going to bring up a Kohen, and that's why the Kohen replaces the Levi. You know that? The Kohen goes 2 times. And then there's also many other different laws that we saw together. Yeah. Just in case that people will not doubt that the person was kasher or not, right? For example, even a Levi, if you bring him a third, even if let's say you bring someone a different aliyah and it wasn't the right aliyah, he can still. So we're not scared of his status, then it will be allowed. So how did they do nisat kapayim outside of the Beit Hamikdash? בין שהגיע שליח ציבור לעבודה, כשיאמר רצה כל הכהנים העומדים בבית הכנסת נעקרים ממקומן והולכים ועולים לדוכן. So how does it go? The second that the שליח ציבור is at רצה, all the kohanim they have to go up, they have to go, they have to remove themselves from where they are, and they have to go up to do the דוכן. ועומדים שם פניהם להיכל, and they face the היכל, ואחוריהם כלפי העם, and their back is facing everybody, ואצבעותיהם and their fingers are closed, they're against their palms like this, right, like this, until the Shliach will finish the Hoda'ah, and then they turn around in front of the Am, right? That's when they turn around in front of everyone, and then they stretch out their hands, and they need to have their hands at the same level as their shoulders, right? Shoulder length. That's why sometimes you're going to see that they go like this, right? Sometimes you're going to go like this, but it's not good. They have to be by the shoulders. and they start and say יברכך. ומתחילים יברכך. ושאר ציבור מקריא אותה מילה מילה, והם עונים שנאמר אמור להם. And also the Shaliach Tzibur is going to read each word. Why do we read each word? Because it's written אמור להם, you should say to them, right? עד שיאמר כשמשלימין פסוק ראשון כל העם עונים אמן וחוזר שליח ציבור ומקריא עד שיאמר כשמשלימין פסוק ראשון כל העם עונים אמן וחוזר. So why do we do this? Because they say אמור להם, you should tell them to do. עד שיאמר כשמשלימין פסוק ראשון כל העם עונים אמן. And when you finish the first pasuk, everyone says amen. וחוזר של הציבור ומקריא אותנו פסוק שני, and then you go back and you read the second pasuk, מילה מילה, each word by word, והם עונים עד שמשלימין פסוק שני, וכל העם עונים אמן, וכן פסוק שישי. And the same thing for the third pasuk. So that's exactly how we do it today. ד' כשישימו הכהנים שלושה פסוקים, is good? כשישימו הכהנים שלושה פסוקים, מתחיל שליח ציבור ברכה אחרונה, של תפילה שהיא שים שלום, והכהנים מחזירים פניהם כלפי הקודש, וקופצים אצבעותיהם, ועומדים שם בדוכן עד שיגמר הברכה ואוחזים במקומן. So they turn around towards the Echal, they close their fist, and they stay there until the bracha is finished, right? And usually they're also going to say, they're going to either repeat the bracha, or there's also special things that the Kohanim have to say, and they say it, and then they're able to go back to their place. הלכה ה' אין המקריא רשאי להקחות לכהנים עד שיחלה אמן מפי הציבור. So now if let's say you're Shaliach Tzibur, you cannot go and call to the Kohanim before you heard amen from everybody. Right? And also the Kohanim cannot start the word after before he finished the word, right? So Yevachecha Hashem ve'ishmerecha, and then they already started. No, they have to do it right after one another. And they only answer amen after the Kohen said the bracha. And they only do it after they hear amen, they start with the next bracha. ואין שליח ציבור רשאי לענות אמן אחר הכהנים כשאר העם, שמא תתערב דעתו, לא ידע איזו ברכה מקריא אותן, עם פסוק שני או פסוק שלישי. Now something very interesting is that really the Shaliach Tzibur should also say amen, right? Why? Because the Birkat Kohanim is a special blessing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, anytime that there will be Kohanim, I will bless you, right? And you will be blessed through the Kohanim. So the Kohanim are blessing you. So Hashem will bless you and guard you and all the different blessings, right? So it's very important. So the Shaliach Tzibur should say amen. But why doesn't he say amen? Because maybe he's going to get lost, right, between the second and third pasuk. However, I saw that today you don't have to worry so much because you have Sfarim today, right? So maybe you can follow with your finger. Make sure you don't Sidurim. I mean, you have Sidurim. הלכה ו' אין לכהנים רשאים להחזיר פניהם בין הציבור עד שיתחיל שליח ציבור שים שלום. And the Kohanim are not allowed to turn around, to turn around from the tzibur until they started sim shalom. And they cannot remove themselves from there until the Shaliach Tzibur finishes sim shalom. Because when they start from the blessing of shalom, right? So the blessing of peace, and this is where they do Birkat Kohanim, right? So they have to wait till the bracha is finished. And they cannot close their fists their fingers until they turn around from the tzibur. ומתקנות עזרא שלא יעלו הקודמים לדוכן בסנדלן אלא עומדים יחפים. And also is the from the time of Ezra, he put up a takana that they should not go up with their shoes, right, with their sandals, but they should go up barefoot, right? And that's why today they go up with their socks, right? So even the rambam is going to agree that they're allowed to wear socks, but they're not allowed to wear shoes. Okay, very good. הלכה זין. כשוע הכהנים מברכים את העם לא יביטו בעם ולא יסיחו דעתן אלא יהיו עיניהם כנגד הארץ כי עומד בתפילה. So when the Kohanim are blessing everybody, they should not look at the people, and and they should not have their mind directed to other intentions. They should look at the floor like it's written for the rules of tefillah. And also, you're not allowed to look at the Kohanim, right? When they're blessing everybody, because they're gonna get distracted. And if they get distracted, then it's not good for the bracha, right? You need the kavanah and the right mind for the bracha to go through. So everyone has to have the intention to listen to the bracha. And they have to go and they have to go and face the Kohanim, but they do not look at their faces. Also, you have to know that back in the days, they did not have the talit over them, so you saw the Kohanim right away.
Why?
So that's a question why. I think I heard that one of the reasons was also it's for kedusha to put up a talit, and then also you have that another thing is that you don't see any blemish, right? Because let's say someone he has a blemish, right, physical blemish, then he can't go up to the Birkat Kohanim. One of the reasons was because people are going to look at it and they're going to think they're going to get distracted from it, right? Let's say he has a crooked finger, right, or has a broken arm, or he's missing an arm, chas v'shalom. So it'll be difficult to go up, or let's say he has another defect. But with the talit, so there are some that permit it today. It's good. So if the Kohen is the one blessing everybody, he has to start doing the bracha by himself. So he does not have to say, meaning there's only one, we don't have to say Kohanim, right? Usually if there's two Kohanim, you have to, the Shaliach Tzibur has to call Kohanim and they have to go up. But if there's only one, then he just goes up by himself. And the Shaliach Tzibur, you have to tell him each word like we said. There's also the interesting minhag, why do Moroccans, we extend in the Birkat Kohanim, right? So why do we do that? Because there's a special, not everybody says to do it. Some say that you should do it just with your mind. But there's a special, in the Patach Eliyahu, there's a special verses to say for each one, right? And for each one, the special verse. And therefore, to give you enough time to say it before the Kohen speaks. Because if the Kohen speaks, then it's like a hefsek. Understand? So you should read it while the Shaliach Tzibur is saying it. And then you should listen to the Kohen making the bracha. If there's two or more, yes, they Kohanim, so everyone comes. And then they have to say why? Because there's a mitzvah to call up the Kohanim to bless Israel. And because we also learn it from Emor Lahem, right? So there's a mitzvah to say Kohanim. So even the Ashkenaz, they say Kohanim am kedushicha ka'amur, and then they come and they bless. Even some Moroccans will have discussed it. V'hu makrir otan mila mila ala seder she'amarnu. And there's also a machloket, right? So according to the Rambam, you don't start with Yevarechecha, right? So the Kohanim, they say Yevarechecha, and then the Shaliach Tzibur continues each word, right? So there's a debate with this. We usually follow, depends where you go. Some are going to follow that we say everything from the beginning of Yevarechecha, and then some will follow that you don't say Yevarechecha. Tet. It's good? Ketzad Birkat Kohanim b'mikdash. So how do you do Birkat Kohanim in the mikdash? So in the Bet HaMikdash, we used to do also Birkat Kohanim, and they used to go up to the Duchan. After they finished after they brought in the sacrifice of the morning. And they used to go and extend their hands over their heads, and the fingers were extended. Except for the Kohen Gadol, because the Kohen Gadol was not allowed to put his hands higher than the tzitz. No, the tzitz was a special. It wasn't a crown; it was more like a head plate. It's written, and on it was written B'Shem Hashem. There was the name of Hashem that was on it, right? So he couldn't put his hand higher where you have the name of Hashem on him. and they read. One of them is reading to them word by word, like we do in other places. Until they finish the 2 psukim. I did not answer after each pasuk, but they do it like it was one bracha. So therefore, they're going to wait till they hear everything before saying amen. Right? And when the Kohanim, they concluded, what did everybody respond? Blessed be God, the Lord of Israel, to all eternity. Why all eternity? Right? Because and this was because of the Stukim, right? To say that there's 2 worlds. So the Stukim, they say, no, it's not true, there's not 2 worlds. Or we say, no, there is 2 worlds. And therefore, from this world until next world, Hashem should be, Hashem, the God of Israel, should be blessed. Halacha Yud. ואומרת השם ככתבו והוא השם הנהגה מיוד כו' כ'. And also something else in the Bet HaMikdash. That's what we say, in the Baracha of Yom Kippur. We say, and they used to say with the Shem HaMeforash, right? So there in Bet HaMikdash, they did not say Amonai. They said Yud Kevav Ke. Right? וזהו השם המפורש האמור בכל מקום. במדינה אומרים אותו בכינויו והוא באלף ד'. But if it's outside of the Bet HaMikdash, we say it with the other name of Hashem. That's Yud Kevav, not Yud Kevav, but Amonai, right? It's good? והוא באלף ד'. שאין מזכירים את השם ככתבו אלא במקדש בלבד. Because you're only allowed to mention or to call out the name of Hashem as it's written in the Bet HaMikdash. ומשמת שמעון הצדיק, פסקו הכהנים, and when Shimon HaTzadik, he passed away, he was the Kohen Gadol, and he was a big tzaddik, and he was one of the remnants of the Knesset HaGdolah. So when he died, פסקו הכהנים ולך בשם המפורש, הכתוב במקדש כדי שלא ילמוד אותו אדם שאינו חשוב ושאינו הגון. And they also stopped, when he passed away, they stopped reciting the name of Hashem in the Bet HaMikdash. Why? Because they didn't want someone who was not, he didn't have a proper kavanah, he wasn't an important person, he didn't act properly, right? To mention the name of Hashem, right? Like it's like a normal business, right? It doesn't work like that. And therefore they stopped it. And even the Chachamim, the sages of the early generations, they will only teach this name once every 7 years, and only to their students and to their sons. So all this is in reverence for His great and awesome name, and therefore that's why even now today we never mention this name. It's a sort to mention it, even if you read it and some goyim they use this word, they use the name of Hakadosh Baruch Hu. This you're not allowed to say it in any form. Halacha Yud Aleph, right? And Birkat Kohanim nimeret b'chol makom ela b'shon hakodesh. Birkat Kohanim is only said everywhere, only in Lashon HaKodesh. Shenamar ko tivayochol b'nei Israel, right? Because this is how you should bless the children of Israel. כך למדו מפשמוע ממשה רבנו עליו השלום ko tivayochol ba'amida. So what does it mean ko tivayochol? Right? This is how you should bless. So this has to be while you're standing. Ko tivayochol, also kitivayochol, this is how you should bless. Means that you have to raise your hands. בנשיאת כפיים. ko tivayochol b'shon HaKodesh. Ko tivayochol means that it has to be in Lashon HaKodesh, in Lashon HaKodesh. Ko tivayochol panim k'niyad panim. And also, this is how you will bless them. We also learn that it has to be face to face, right? And also from the same ko tivayochol, b'kol ram, we learn that it has to be it has to be out loud. And also ko tivayochol, we learn that it has to be using the explicit name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that has to be in the Bet HaMikdash, like we said. Halacha Yud Bet. אין הכהנים רשאים בכל מקום להוסיף ברכה על שלושת הפסוקים כגון השם אלוהי עבדכם יוסף לכם ככם 1,000 פעמים. So the Kohanim are not allowed to add anything of the extra. They can't add extra psukim, right, when they do the blessing. Kigon, for example, they're going to say, may Hashem, the God of your fathers, increase your numbers, right? אלך אלף פעמים, בכל בא, לא בכל רם ולא בלחש שנאמר, לא תוסיפו על הדבר. Right, guys, written, you're not allowed to add or decrease in the mitzvot, right? We saw clearly לא ספר על המצוות, and therefore, it's not be able to do that. בשעה שכל כהן עולה לדוכן, כשהוא עוקר רגליו לעלות אומר יהי רצון. So that's what we're saying, is that when everyone goes up to Dukhan, when he's going to remove his feet, when he's ready to leave after the Kohen, after they did Sim Shalom, right? After the Shal Sibuch said Sim Shalom, he has to say, יהי רצון בניך, אדוני אלוהינו, שתהיה ברכה זו שציוויתנו לברך את עמך ישראל, ברכה שלמה, ולי בא מכשול ועוון מעתה ועד עולם. וקודם שיחז, מעתה ועד עולם. So what did he say? He said, maybe you're well, Hashem, our God and God of our fathers, this blessing which you have commanded us to bless your people Israel be a perfect blessing that it won't be with any mechshol ve'avon. It will not be with any obstacles or sins. From now on forever. It's good, you see, when Yud Bet. וקודם שיחזיר פניו לברך את העם, לברך ברוך אתה השם אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נשום קדושתו של אהרון ניסינו לברך את עמו ישראל באהבה. Right, and when before they turn around, they have to make the blessing, right? And that and what is the blessing? Is that Shabbat Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam, who has sanctified us with holiness of Aaron, with the holiness of Aaron, and commanded us to bless His people Israel with love. Right, so we see that there's also this mizah from the Torah. And then after they did the bracha, they turn around and they bless the people. And then what do they say? They go and they turn around and they say, we have carried out what which you have decreed upon us. Deal with us as you have promised us. Right? So look down from above in the heavens and bless your people Israel. This is how they finish the blessing. Halacha Yud Gimel. It's good? כשמחזירין הכהנים את פניהם לציבור לברכם, או כשמחזירין פניהם מן הציבור, אחר שמברכינו יחזרו אליו על דרך ימין בכל מקום. So when they're going to turn around to face the Echad, or they're going to turn around to face the public, they always have to turn from the right side. Right? So they always turn on the right side. And any way that a person turns, it should always be on the right side. So whether it was in the Bet HaMikdash or if it was outside of the Bet HaMikdash, so you should always turn on the right side. הלכה י"ב, י"ד. במקדש הולכים ברכת כהנים פעם אחת ביום אחר תמיד של שחר. So in Bet HaMikdash, he used to make one time the blessing for Birkat Kohanim after bringing the sacrifice of the morning. מעין ועומדים על מעלות האולם ומברכים כדרך שאמרנו. So they go up in the steps of the ulam and they recite the blessing like we said. But in the city we bless it after each tefillah except for mincha like we said, right? So they used to do it every day one time and then they used to bless it, but everywhere it's only after the tefillah and it's except for mincha. And בכל מקום משתדלים שיהיה המקחה אותה נצחה שנאמר אמור להם בגלל שאין המקחה מהם. And also a person should be careful that the person who goes up and says Amor Lahem, right? The Chazan, he has to be one second here. The person who's calling them should not be a Kohen himself. It should be an Israel, right? Because he's calling everybody to come, but he's not going himself. So he shouldn't be the one calling them. Because Amor Lahem, right? To say, so it implies you have to say to them. So it implies that he cannot be part of them, and therefore it has to be a regular Jew who goes up.